Alright, so I just recorded an unboxing and I kind of wanted to do a sort of unboxing. I've had this for a little while and I just haven't made a video of it, and I'm still working on other parts for this whole shenanigan, but wow, that barely fits in frame this way. I will have to figure something out. So this is the I guess technically the second expansion for Weta Workshop's GKR heavy hitters. This is the salty and sweet expansion, so it adds 2 more heavy hitters and 6 more support units with all their appropriate accoutrements. So cards and tokens and everything. It's cool. Like, I really dig this box. I was going to open it, but I really dig this box. It reminds me of a Nerd's box. So you have super sweet and or ultra sweet, super salty. Hang on. Ultra sweet, super salty. So this is the back of the box. It just looks kind of like all the other ones. It's a collaboration between Weta Workshop and Cryptozoic Games. Does not include the main game. I have the main game over on a shelf, and I'll do a video about those in a little while. I've been working on my Painter's Edition. I actually think I may have lost one of my Painter's Edition GKRs in the move, and I'm worried I may have thrown it out, and I'm very disappointed about that. But the awesome thing about this is, I don't even know if this is gonna like, so it gives you a little bit of a description, so pause here if you want to read the description for what it is, with a little bit of a picture. Like I said, this box is massive, not nearly as big as the core rule book or the core games, but the fun part is, because the front looks like a Nerd's box, this side has Nutritional Facts, and I will put this right up in frame and hope that you guys can see that, and if you want to pause it and look at the annihilation facts on what it is, and then it's just below, it's got a picture of the super salty heavy hitter. But why would I want to show you that line art when I can actually just like take it out of the box and show you guys? Whoa. And yes, I do try to keep all the boxes. There is a trick to showing off board games, like if you're going to have your board games on display, that some people know about, not everybody knows about, and I'm sure some people, when I finally show our board game collection off, will be like, those aren't, you've never even opened those games, you're a fake gamer girl. Fuck off. That's how I feel about it. That's right, I forgot. I left this bottom tape on there for a reason. But yeah, so these are the bits. So if you are like me and you kickstarted the game, you have the option of making sure that you got the Wastelands expansion, Urban Wastelands expansion. Came with a little big buddy and some turrets. So these are the appropriate faction colored turrets that go on top of the buildings, so you can see. And I actually think these ones look a little bit nicer than the other ones, but that's just me. Also, I haven't really paid attention to the other ones, so they may be the same, and they just may be in the pink and the purple. Up here we have, these are our pilot tokens. So there are 8 pilots, each with unique abilities. And the pilots are all the same. They're not unique based off faction, but everybody, you can hire any of the pilots for any of the factions, so they're all the same. It's just these ones have pink, so you know, oh, they're playing super sweet, and these ones are purple. They color match. These are our different faction decks, and I will go into faction decks in probably a different video about GKR, rather than trying to tackle that subject matter here. And then down here, these bad ladies, these are the heavy hitters. And if you've seen the video from Tested, you'll know that these are amazingly sculpted, highly detailed. I'm kind of torn between, like, these two are probably my 2 favorites now. There's one that I really like from the initial game release, but there's just something about how these ones look that I just love, and I wish Weta would maybe release builder kits. So if people wanted to do their own version or kit bash. So that's the super sweet. Here's the ultra salty, or ultra sweet. This is the super salty. And you can see like this guy's got a real like a real kind of RoboCop vibe. Like he reminds me of what's the name of the bad guy from RoboCop 2? Kane. He reminds me of Kane 2.0 from RoboCop 2. But yeah, just real kind of dominating, menacing presence. There's no articulation on these. They're static miniatures or bigatures. Let's see. Do I have a normal sized mini for comparison? I should, because you know, game room. So this is this is a heavy hitter from GKR. This is an infinity miniature, and you can see there's a big boy. Yeah, so just kind of showing those off. Sorry about that. I had to take a little pause. The camera wanted to overheat. For you guys that don't know, I use a Sony Alpha 5100. It's actually like a camera. It's actually a really good mirrorless camera. I actually really like it. But it's when I'm doing video, it has a tendency to want to overheat the longer I do video. So I just recorded a video. I probably should have held off. I can usually get away with about 15-20 minutes before it wants to overheat, and yeah, that's what I did. So I'm back. I'm going to splice these two things together so you guys will barely notice, but you might see a weird jump cut where I'm holding this guy and then suddenly it's not. So yeah, so these are super cool. Every faction in the game has 3 support units. So they have a combat unit, a reconnaissance unit, which I actually really dig the way that this reconnaissance unit looks. It's got like an old school biplane look, but then it's got like little legs underneath it. I have some plans for all of my reconnaissance units, and then a repair unit. And more often than not, by the way, I will go into detail about that plan here in a minute. More often than not, all the repair units have a tendency to be kind of bipedal in nature. I believe one of the other factions might have a multi-pedal. I know that this is, I believe, the repair unit for Ultra Sweet. No. Yes, no. This might be the combat unit. I don't know. They did not pack these. I know for a fact that this is the combat unit. Usually they do combat unit, recon, repair. I think this is the repair unit. Yeah, that's totally got to be the repair unit. You know, I can figure this out. But they tend to be bipedal and usually have a similar appearance to their heavy hitters on a certain level. This is how we find out. I didn't really want to go into all the cards because they're all mixed up right now. These are all, there we go. So the reconnaissance unit, hi Scribba. Yeah, detox, okay. And then this is the combat unit. So yeah, so combat unit, so they just kind of flip-flopped it, which, I mean, it's understandable. It's a thin plastic clamshell. But for those of you who've never heard of GKR heavy hitters, or who've never seen the Weta Workshop's coverage of this, I was so excited about this. The minute I saw the tested footage of this with them being like, hey, you want to back a GKR? And I was like, yes, shut up, take my money. Because, oh man, like this stuff is just like the robots, the designs, the fact that it's Weta Workshop doing it. Like, I mean, it's just like the designs are just so incredibly good, and I actually really enjoy playing the game. It's a little bit complicated if you're just starting off, but the game is super fun, and the premise is really exciting too, I think. It basically, in a world where everyone started living in mega cities, natural pre-existing resources are becoming more and more valuable. So all these old cities of old, San Francisco, New York, Tokyo, London, I don't want to say natural resources because they're harvesting like old buildings. So it's concrete and steel and aluminum and copper that exist in these old buildings as fabricated product. different companies go in and start harvesting and kind of fighting each other with these robots. And someone had the brilliant idea, hey, let's televise it. So you're actually playing a TV program where you are destroying buildings and taking over this city. And the objective is either defeat your enemies or destroy 4 buildings. And you can do both if you want. Do one or the other. The first faction to destroy 4 buildings, which requires you tagging it 4 times, wins the game. Ends the game, wins the game. There are some other rules that are a little bit more complicated. There are ways that you can, hire on what's called the little big buddy. He's basically a slightly smaller heavy hitter that you can hire. There are also support units, like temporary support units you can hire called mercs that you can move into the map and you can have them attack for you if you've got the cards for it. So like I said, there's a lot of availability and variance in what you have available in the game, and it's a really fun game. I thoroughly enjoy it. Hopefully I will get to use these guys soon. I'd like it if maybe Weta would release a slightly larger game mat so that you could actually have a 6-way battle or a 3v3 or a 2v2v2 battle, since you now have 6 factions. Or maybe they'll release 2 more factions in the future, so we'll have a nice round 8 factions. But yeah, currently when this is not out on the table, it lives on our gaming shelf, which I will maybe take a picture of and insert here, since I'm going to attempt to insert photos into things for this video apparently. We'll see how that works out. You guys have a fun one. Have a great time. Way to go. And hopefully I will actually post this video and it'll not just live on my camera's memory card.